Hello, I'm Alex Dekhtyar from the Department of Computer Science and Software Engineering at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Hi, and I am Bruno, same department at Cal Poly.
Yeah, thank you. So today we'll talk about educating project stakeholders, specifically doing so in a university setting. One of the things that pretty much every software developer learns very, very quickly when they start participating on project development teams is the importance of communication between the development team and the project stakeholders. Everything that we teach at in our software engineering and computer science programs about software development tries to teach our students proper ways of communicating with the software with the project stakeholders. However, what we observed is that only software developers actually get taught this. And we asked ourselves a very straightforward question: why don't we educate the stakeholders? So to address this, we took a general education class taught at Cal Poly called CHASE2020, and we taught it under the heading of software engineering without programming. We taught it for 10 weeks in during the winter quarter, right before the pandemic. And in our class were 48 students in 2 sections, representing 17 different majors at Cal Poly. With this class, we also connected it or taught it in concert with an introduction to software engineering course taught by my colleague Bruno. This course is part of our Bachelor's of Science in Software Engineering program, and it was taken primarily by third-year software engineering majors. Teaching courses in concert means aligning the topics, and what we did is we talked about pretty much the same topics throughout the quarter to the appropriate level of depth. We covered product vision in both classes. We talked about notion of software architecture. We talked about stakeholders, personas, user stories. We worked on UI prototyping. We introduced more formal requirement specifications in the form of use cases, functional and non-functional requirements, and we talked about data modeling, and all of this was in both classes. In addition to teaching the same topics, it was very important to us to bring the students from both classes together to work on a quarter-long project initiated by the software engineering without programming students.
Right, and this is how we paired up the classes. So students from 2 sections of CHASE2020 started with their project ideas. So we selected 6 topics that were in common. So they started working the product vision, and then they started communicating with 308 students. So we had 6 projects from a variety of domains, reflecting primarily the interests of students from software engineering without programming class. In terms of architecture, these 6 projects had different tech stacks, which I'm happy to talk more about it later. 2 of them were web apps, 4 of them were mobile apps. And in all projects, we observed student community engagement, and we also observed a lot of student discussion across sections that played a major role. And there's a picture just to show students working together in a typical team meeting to work one of those joint deliverables. And in terms of outcomes, we were able to assess that 310 students could write product vision statements and then find and discuss user personas, user stories, and write user case specs, and even address non-functional requirements. They were also able to communicate data needs, participate closely in the UI design process, and understand formal requirements specification document. And 308 students, software engineering students, they were able to engage well with their counterparts from the other class. So they got a chance to engage with other people outside their class, playing the product owner role. And this created an interesting and unique dynamic, which they wouldn't be able to experience otherwise, at least this early in their career. And finally, later in the spring quarter, software engineering students were able to complete and continue and complete the product development in the follow-up course.
So in conclusion, we observed that while computer science for all efforts are very popular these days in many universities, and these courses teach students from outside of computing disciplines how to think computationally. There's been very few efforts to approach computational thinking from the point of view of the model of stakeholder in a software project development. At the same time, we believe that this is actually a more common occurrence for the students that are being educated in our universities right now. Moving forward, a lot of them will find themselves working on software development teams as product stakeholders. What we've shown is that it is feasible to teach such classes. It is feasible to educate students in software engineering without having them program, and they're doing so has a verifiable impact on the students' ability to engage with software developers. However, we also learned that it is a complex task that requires collaboration of such a course with a real software engineering course so that the students are exposed to real software developments. It is challenging but rewarding, and we invite conversation about this both at CHASE, and we invite you to attend our presentation in the upcoming RE-NEXT, where we present the extended version of these conversation with the data available to us. Thank you very much.